Hello, guys, and welcome back to this series. This will be episode 2, and episode 2 will focus on chapter 2. Chapter 2 focuses on expansion cards, storage devices, and power supplies. Alright, let's jump into it. Question number 1. You are installing a new graphics adapter in a Windows 10 system. Which of the following expansion slots is designed for high-speed 3D graphics adapters? A. USB, B. NVMe, C. PCI, D. PCIe. NVMe stands for non-volatile memory. PCI stands for peripheral component interconnect. PCIe is express. That's why there's a E at the end. The answer for this question is D. Reason being is because PCIe supports high speed 3D graphic video cards. It offers better performance than older graphic adapters. Alright, let's move on to question 2. Question 2 says, you need to install a new hard drive into a desktop computer. Which of the following is not one of the three major components of a hard disk drive system? A. Drive interface, B. Disk controller, C. Hard disk, D. Host adapter. So for this question, you will have to know the major components of a hard disk drive system. And the answer is A. Drive interface. So this will not be one of the three major components. So the three major components are disk controller, hard disk, and host adapter. Number 3. You install a new NIC for a user. Network Interface Controller. That's what NIC stands for. And he asks what it does. Which of the following best characterizes the functions of this device? A. Multimedia, B. Communications, C. Input/output, D. Storage. Alright. So remember, NIC stands for Network Interface Card. And what does this do? This allows for communication. So it enables computers to talk to each other on the same network. Question number 4. A client wants to ensure that their server does not lose power if their power supply fails. Which of the following best describes the type of power supply needed in this situation? A. A power supply that provides twice as much wattage than what is needed to power system components. B. A power supply that provides a voltage output selector. C. A modular power supply. D. A redundant power supply. So for this question, you will have to be knowledgeable of power supplies and how they work, and what would you need just in case you lose power. Alright, the answer is D, a redundant power supply. So a redundant power supply is basically just two power supplies in one unit. 5. A client is looking for a desktop storage technology that provides the fastest possible data transfers. Which technology should you recommend? A. SATA. B. NVMe. C. 10,000 RPM. D. 15,000 RPM. So, read the question again and just read it carefully because it asks storage technology. The answer for this question is B, NVMe. So this is the fastest communication interface. It will be a best option aside from an actual SSD storage. This will be the fastest option. Number 6. You are choosing an optical drive format for a client. Which optical disk format supports data capacity of 25 gigabytes? A. Double-sided double-layer DVD plus R. B. Single-sided single-layer Blu-ray disc. C. Double-sided single-layer DVD R. D. Double-sided single-layer DVD R plus R. Alright, for this question you'll need to know your optical drive formats. The answer is B, single-sided single-layer Blu-ray disc. So these have single-sided single-layer capacity of 25 gigabytes. Number 7. Which of the following best describes the concept of hot-swappable devices? A. A power does not need to be turned off before the device is inserted or removed. Made a typo there. B. The device can be removed with power apply after it is properly stopped in the operating system. C. Care must be taken when swapping the device because it can be hot to the touch. D. The device can be swapped while still hot immediately after powering down the system. Alright. What is hot swappable? The answer is A. Power does not need to be turned off before the device is inserted or removed. So, hot swappable means that the device can be removed while the power to the system is still on. So, power to the system, so the PC can be still turned on and you can still remove the device. 8. Of the following voltage pairings, which one accurately represents the input and output respectively of power supplies and AC adapters? A. AC in and AC out. B. DC in, DC out. C. AC in, DC out. And D. DC in, AC out. The answer is C. AC in, DC out. So power supplies and AC adapters use standard wall outlets for input. 9. What are the output voltages that have been commonly produced by PC power supplies over the years? Choose 5. A. Plus, or you can say positive 3.3 VDC. B. Negative 3.3 VDC. C. Plus positive 5 BDC. D. Negative VDC. E. positive 12 F negative 12 G plus 110 H negative 110. So which are the 5 output voltages? This is kind of, if you're new to this is of course a little bit confusing. The answers are A, C, D, E, and F. So positive 3.3, positive 5, negative 5, plus 12, positive 12, sorry, and negative 12. 10. You are installing a new power supply in a desktop computer. Which of the following statements about power supplies is true? A. You must make sure that the voltage selector switch on the back of the power supply is switched to the lower setting if the computer is going to be used in Europe. B. SATA hard drives must often use the same type of power connector that PATA or PATA, whichever way you want to say it, hard drives use. C. Power supplies require a 20 pin to 24 pin motherboard adapter to supply power to ATX based motherboards. D. Power supplies convert AC into DC output. So, what is true when you are installing a new power supply? Answer is D. Power supplies convert AC input to DC output. Number 11. You have been asked to install a new hard drive for a client. Which of the following is not a consideration when installing an internal storage device? So, which is not a consideration when you're installing an internal storage device? A. You should match the form factor of the hard drive or adapt it to an available drive bay or slot. B. You should secure the drive with at least 2 screws on one side and preferably 2 on each side. C. Due to the high revolutions at which modern hard drives spin, you must secure an external power source because the internal power supplies did not have the capacity. D. You need to be sure that the routing of the drive's data cable, if applicable, does not obstruct the engineer's flow of air across internal components. The answer is C. The explanation for this would be that regardless of their RPM, they have standard internal power connections. Number 12. A client just bought a new digital camera for his photography business. Photography. Do not judge my accent, please. Which of the following is specifically designed as an internal storage device for cameras? A. Memory cards. B. Optical discs. C. Flash drives. D. SATA. The answer will be memory cards. You will have to know the various, storage devices for each component or device that you will be using. So for cameras, it will be memory cards because they're smaller. They're smaller and they can fit into the slots. (13) When installing multiple add-on cards of the same type, which of the following cards might you need to bridge together to function as a single unit? A. Video. B. Sound. C. USB. D. SATA. when installing multiple add-on cards of the same type? A. Video. So PCIe video cards may be bridged together, enabling two cards to function as one. 14. You are purchasing a new video card for a desktop computer. For the best performance, which type of video card should you purchase? A. PCIe X16 or by 16, PCIe 128, C. AGP, D. PCIe X128, PCIe 16. So, what type of video card should you purchase for the best performance? E. PCIe X16 or by 16 or times 16. So, this is the widest channel, and the widest channel will be X16. And AGP doesn't apply here because it stands for Accelerated Graphics Port. This is a legacy type of technology, and you wouldn't really find it these days. 15. Which of the following is not a consideration when upgrading power supplies? So what is not considered when you are upgrading a power supply? A. You might find that you do not have a matching motherboard connector on your new power supply. B. You might find that your case has a non-removable power supply. C. You might find that your power rating is not adequate on the new power supply. D. You might find that you do not have enough of the appropriate connectors coming from the power supply for the device that you have installed. The answer is B. You might find that your case has a non-removable power supply. Personal computers and PCs do not have permanent installed power supply. 16. You are choosing a flash standard for a client. They want the smallest flash cards possible. Which standard should you recommend? A. SD, B. Compact flash, C. Micro SD, D. Mini SD, E. XD. So which will be the smallest flash card? The answer will be C. Micro SD. As you see by the word micro, which will be the smallest, this option of the card can be as small as 15 by 11 millimeters. 17. Your goal is to build the fastest computer possible. Which of the following hard drive technologies should you choose for the fastest read performance? A. M.2 PCIe, B. M.2 SATA, C. NVMe PCIe, D. NVMe SATA. So the answer would be C. NVMe PCIe. So both M.2 and NVMe are fast, and they are the new SSD options. But for this answer is NVMe. Number 18. You have been asked to configure a RAID 5 system for a client. Which of the following statements about RAID 5 is true? So for this, you'll have to know the RAID types. A. It provides fault tolerance but no performance improvement. B. It provides performance improvement but no fault tolerance. C. If multiple drives in the array fail, the data can be saved provided that one drive is still operational. D. It requires at least 3 drives to implement. D. It requires at least 3 drives to implement. So in order for RAID 5 to work, the minimum of 3 hard drives, the answer would be needed to implement. So if one drive fails, the data is fine and the system can still function. Number 19. You have a motherboard with integrated video and the video fails. You install a video add-on card. Which of the following statements are the most accurate? Choose 2. The add-on card would not function properly because of the integrated video. B. The add-on card will function if it's bridged to the integrated video chipset. C. The add-on card will be detected automatically and function properly if it's PCIe. D. For the card to work properly, you might need to disable the integrated video in the BIOS. E. The add-on card will work properly by using the integrated card's video driver. C and D. So the add-on card will be detected automatically and function properly if it's PCIe because the system or the motherboard will recognize it. And D, for the card to work properly, you might need to disable the integrated video in the BIOS. For this option, you will need to boot into the BIOS to disable the option. Number 20. When replacing a power supply, which of the following tends to vary among power supplies and must be chosen properly to support all connected devices? A. Wattage. B. Voltage. C. Amperage. D. Resistance. The answer for this is wattage. So power supplies are rated in watts. When you are purchasing a power supply, just make sure that the devices that you will be adding do not have a wattage that's over the power supplies. So make sure they have a smaller wattage than the power supply. Alright guys, this will be all for this second episode of this series. I'm glad that you guys are here and are learning something new and studying, of course. Like I said again, for all these episodes, make sure to pause and take a few seconds to answer the question yourself, figure it out, and then of course just keep watching and figure, and just get the answers. Of course, take down notes so you can learn more, and just make sure to keep studying and read online. And I thank you guys for watching, and as always, like and subscribe and share this to your friends or family members who are also studying for the CompTIA A+. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.